this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They start the drive with White. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Wilson. Here's a quick pass. He's got Chris Godwin. And able to get this one across the 45. Brought down.
Complete to Chris Godwin. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Buccaneers.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking for Godwin again, and he's got him once more. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and you can create a little bit of havoc. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They keep it on the ground. White again. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3, 4th down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
He'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs trying on 4th down to come up empty. Now this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. First play's a run with Nwangu. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Joe Tryon there to make the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now this throw caught left side. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he completes this to Russell Gage. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Completes it again to Gage. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense, and that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On play action, they'll throw. Another catch by White. Back-to-back plays. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Come on, back.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He completes it right side to White. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is White on the screen. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Running here with White. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Boy, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. White. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. I think probably just trying to draw him off there. It didn't work.
And defensively, that's what you work on all the time. Being in that spot and being able to not jump and give them the yardage that they were desiring.
Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit. This is a 27-yard attempt here. Blankenship's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding the 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That ball caught by Campbell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 35 yards the game there. Another 1st down as well. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Bucs are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the stick, 2nd and 15.
Watch out! Watch out now! 52! Needle blue! Dog red! Turn to needle! Mag it! Hey!
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll drop to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan. We're trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. A big completion completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got to pick me for? It's my turn now to make the big play, and that's exactly what he did.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, I think the effort was there, but sometimes the defense is just a little bit better. No gain on the quarterback sneak, no place to go.
They'll go with a keeper. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's third down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Joseph is good. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Reagor, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Credit that sack to Travis Jones.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
They'll look to run with Nwangu.
And this time he is in.
Kene Nwangu, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year,
as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Joseph connects on the extra point,
and the lead is up to 18 now.
Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll just take a seat, and the driver to get it to 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been...
Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Julian Love picks it.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.